So we have a fish pond here that has recently had a bit of a clean out, and a couple of the fish were lost during the clean out. And that's not unusual, because what happens is that at the bottom of the pond it builds up heaps of debris, and this debris can form what's called hydrogen sulfide through anoxic bacteria that can form in the bottom. And when you disturb it and clean it all up, then it is possible that you lose some fish, which is what's happened here. So what needs to happen here is some regular water changes, and all the crap needs to be sucked out of the bottom of the pond. And putting a bit of polyfilter in the water wouldn't hurt, because that will help to remove any hydrogen sulfide. Now, the next thing that needs to occur here is a filter needs to be put on into this pond. Now, as far as a filter is concerned, we've got a few options. We've got internal filters. Otherwise, we can also look at external filters, and that'll have to be hidden in the garden somewhere. Now, typically when you're filtering something like a pond, you've usually got three options. You've usually got a cheap option that may not be as reliable and may require more maintenance. Then you've usually got a slightly better option, and then you've usually got the best option. The best option usually requires less maintenance, is usually easier to clean, usually lasts a lot longer, and usually costs a fair bit more. So you've sort of got three price brackets as a generalization. So in a situation like this, depending on the amount of fish stock we want to put in the pond, a single pump running an external filter plumb to the back of that waterfall would be an option. The other thing we could consider doing too, which also allows an amount of redundancy, is getting an extra pump which can be put in at any time, and that can get put in somewhere else, and then it can be angled to start getting a bit of kinetic energy in the pond. But the main thing this pond is really going to require is plenty of oxygen, because that's going to reduce the CO2 level and reduce the algae and encourage the fish and encourage the good bacteria. And we're going to need a nice big filter to grow lots of bacteria, because a filter, or how clear your water is if the bacteria is winning, because the oxygen is up and the filtration is good, the water will be clear. If the algae is winning in the competition for nutrients, then the water will be green. So the other thing we really want to do is put a UV sterilizer on it, and a UV sterilizer is going to kill any algae spores that go through it. So we've got a good place to put our external filter right there. Do a few big water changes, make sure the fish are fed, not overfed, but fed on high quality food, and soon enough this pond can look absolutely beautiful. But a little bit of planning, a little bit of work can really turn what looks like a bit of a swamp into an absolutely spectacular feature for any garden. The main thing we're really going to encourage is, before you do anything on a pond like this, grab a sample of water out, come down and see us at Majestic Aquariums, and then we can help you professionally install equipment like this. Otherwise, we really recommend that once you do the job, or once we do the job, that maybe once a week for the next several weeks, we'd recommend you bring a sample of water and a video down to us again, just so we can keep an eye on how things are going. We can check the water and make sure everything's going to plan.